Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp gains. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Italian game starts with bishop c4, which attacks the f7 pawn and prepares to castle quickly. Bishop c5 attacks the f2 pawn and helps control the important d4 square. d3 allows the dark-squared bishop to develop and protects the bishop on c4 and the pawn on e4. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e4 pawn, and controls the d5 square. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside because the king is further from the center. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This creates luck for the king, providing it an escape square. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. One of the best moves. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. White develops the knight and attacks the center. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This is a fair move. A solid choice. This offers an equal trade of pieces. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. This threatens to win a knight through a fork. This misses an opportunity to strike at the center with a pawn. This permits the opponent to kick a knight, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This overlooks a better way to connect rooks. This misses a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. Right on target. The piece finds a new active square. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. This misses an opportunity to create a pawn chain. This overlooks a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. This overlooks an opportunity to create a pawn chain. Black activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. This threatens to win a queen through a fork. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a queen through a fork. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. That's an unfortunate error. This blocks white's pawn. This misses a better way to move a queen to safety. This permits the opponent to take an outpost with a rook. Recaptures. This misses an opportunity to double rooks on a single file. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This overlooks an opportunity to recapture a piece. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. Takes back. Very precise. This is the strongest option. That's fine. worse moves, but also something much better. This blocks an attack on a pawn. Right on target. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This moves the rook to safety. A very strong play. One of the best moves. This allows the knight to control more squares. Very precise. This is not the right idea. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. This is the strongest option. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. This misses an opportunity to create a pawn chain. This permits the opponent to eventually win a pawn. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. This is the only move that works. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. Now white can't stop black from winning material if they make the right moves. Right on target. This wins a pawn. This evades the check from the knight. Very precise. This steps away from the checking knight. Black finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a pawn. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, winning a pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to block a check from the opposing rook. That was a free pawn. This threatens to win material through a fork. This stops the opponent from being able to win material through a fork. This loses a pawn, but the position was losing no matter what. This moves the knight to safety. This evades the check from the knight. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This is the strongest option. A solid choice. A very strong play. This is a fair move. One of the best moves. Right on target. This moves the pawn to safety, putting the piece on a blockade square. The piece finds a new active square. The bishop finds a new active square. A solid choice. Very precise. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is the start of the endgame, and black is winning. This defends the attacked knight. This is the strongest option. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This steps away from the checking knight. Right on target. This steps away from the checking knight. The pawn is now passed. This blocks white's pawn. A very strong play. This is an equal trade. Very precise. This kicks a knight. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the rook. Right on target. Very precise. That's fine. This is the strongest option. This moves the bishop to safety. That pawn was free for the taking. One of the best moves. This steps away from the checking rook. This is a fair move. This evades the check from the knight. This offers to exchange pieces. This captures a knight that checked the king. Takes back. This move puts the rook on a safer square. This move puts the bishop on a safer square, pushing a passed pawn. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. Pushing a passed pawn. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. A solid choice. Black finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a pawn. This defends a knight that was under attack and had no defenders. This steps away from the checking rook. A very strong play. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Right on target. This steps away from the checking rook, pushing a passed pawn. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. Very precise. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This is the strongest option. This moves the rook to safety. One of the best moves. This moves the rook to safety. A solid choice. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. A very strong play. This move puts the rook on a safer square. One of the best moves. The passed pawn moves towards its goal.